Welcome back to Living 757. You know, Ashley, our friends from DMV keep us safe here in Hampton Road, and they just released a speed safety campaign. Check this out.
Let's go. Let's pick it up. Come on, speed limit. What speed limit? Losing gas money from speeding? And up. Hello, officer. License lost? Job gone? I am not loving this game, dude. Court costs?
I'm out of here.
There goes my girl, man. Now, that's the thing about pedal to the metal, bro. You speed,
you lose.
Now, our friends at the DMV set the speed limits to help keep us safe on our roadways, and they just launched a really funny campaign. Our main man, John Saunders, is joining us today so he can help school us a little bit on speed and safety. Hey, John.
Hey, how are you today?
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well as well.
We are. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you for joining us. Now, my question is, how are the speed limits decided? Like, how are they set? Who decides?
Well, a lot of people just think we just post up signs, but really, that's not really how it works. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just one thing. A lot of factors are dealt with. It's number one is what is the road type? Number one, are you talking a major highway, or are you talking something that may be within the urban city, or where you're located at? So those type of things are looked at. They also look at is it a straight road, or are you dealing with something that's got curves and those type of things, or you're on a rural roadway where you might have a lot of turns as compared to being on an interstate. So those type of things are taken into account. Our VDOT friends and partners work very close, and they have engineers who do engineering studies on these roadways. And based on those studies, they set the speed limit that is safe for that roadway type.
That makes actually a lot of sense. Yes, that makes a lot of sense because, you know, the road type and everything. Now, I have a question. If I had to pass another vehicle and maybe I'm already on the limit speed, like a 45, and then when I pass someone else, I have to speed it up a little bit more. Then the police officers saw me just right at that moment, and they thinking that I'm speeding. How that can be manageable in a better way when you pass someone and you have to speed up a little bit? Is that right to do?
Normally, number one, it depends on what the speed limit is where you're passing, and are you passing in a safe passing zone, i.e., if you're on a 2-lane highway, or do you have the dotted line that allows you to pass it? So if those things are appropriate, and if you decide that you're going to make that pass, then you're going to have to increase your speed, and most likely to make a pass, unless someone is really driving way under the speed limit. You're most likely going to have to increase your speeds.
Exactly.
In most cases, in that situation, an officer will understand what your maneuver is that you're doing right then. And I would think that, again, it's up to the officer's judgment. However, now if you continue past that individual and you do not decrease your speed, and you continue to speed over the speed limit, then you may quite possibly be stopped by a police officer.
Yeah. That's what happens to me.
Well, that's what happened to you?
Well, I pass a car and I increase my speed, but then I keep it up for maybe 2 more exits, so which is I have to slow down before, and that's when the police officer stopped me saying, and I was explaining that
after you pass, you'd have to decrease your speed back down.
I know, I did, but it took me a little bit to do it. So.
Yeah, but you can't take 10 miles is not a little bit. You have to
Now, people have been saying for years that when it comes to like safety, going with the flow of traffic on the interstate is perhaps safer than following the speed limit. What do you think?
The speed limit is set for a purpose.
Okay.
And you cannot judge. You're going to be held accountable for what you're speeding, what your speed is.
Okay.
So if the speed limit is, if you're on a speed limit and it's 65 miles an hour on the interstate, or 70, whatever it is, and you are driving above that speed limit, just say you're driving above that speed limit. Again, it's up to that officer riding with everyone else that's doing 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour is not, it's not going to mean that they're not going to pull you over.
Yeah.
And then you can say, well, it's safer that, no, I'm not sure that that's safer. I would think that those speed limits are set for a reason.
Right.
And you will notice on the interstate, sometimes you'll see groups of cars moving at that speed, but then there's other groups of cars that are not moving at that speed.
True.
So it's a behavior that you choose to speed.
Yeah.
And it's usually not, it's not a good choice because of the outcomes that can come from that. If you are speeding, the likelihood that you're going to have a major crash that's going to cause some major damage, i.e. physically or just to your vehicle or loss of life, and it's not only your life we're talking about the lives of others around you.
Yes.
So when you're moving at those type of speeds, there's not much room for error at all. So you have to do those things that are safe and that are appropriate and drive in that manner.
That
Again,
is true.
the left lane is for vehicles that are moving faster, and we should stay out of that left lane. That's unless you're passing and need to be in that lane, you probably should be in the middle lane or the other lane and allow that faster traffic to move past you. So that's the safe way to drive. It is really making good judgments and making right choices.
That is true. John, well, thank you so much. I love all the tips that he always
Me too.
bring us because we have to be responsible on the road.
Yep.
That is true.
Every time we get behind the wheel, and the best
Yep.
defense you have is speeding. We want you, number one, just to obey the speed limit, but you need to wear your seatbelt because
Yep.
that's your best defense against everything that goes on out there. So
Click
if you're
it
involved
or
with
ticket.
in a crash and
Yes.
someone else makes a mistake, you want to be belted in. But again, we want you to make right choices. We want you to slow down. We don't want you to drive impaired. We want you to wear your seatbelt. Don't drive distracted. All of those things.
Yes,
All of
follow
those
all
things come
those
together.
tips that
Yes.
John just shared with us. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
once again,
much.
John. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. You guys
Thank
drive
you.
safe,
See
okay?
you.
Happy holiday. Thank you.